It is the best time to talk about this. Just get it out while it's fresh. Just get it out while it's fresh.
All right.
Can you hear? I can't hear. What's wrong with me?
I need to pop my ears. There we go. That's better.
All right. What happened?
Anyways, I had a best friend, right? I've known him for a long time, right?
How long were you friends with this guy?
I can't say how many years. Since 7th grade probably is when I first met him. Like I remember, like I met him in like science class, like 7th grade is when we became buddies. And just found out, that he killed himself. My whole reason I want to talk about this is because I think it's odd that, like, for me, like, we don't know, like, I don't know what happened. Nobody knows, like, what happened. Like, he didn't say anything, this and that. And it's odd to me as, like, being friends, like, how you can't, like, I feel like if you're a good enough friend with somebody, you should be able to tell them, like, hey, man, I need some help. And I feel like it's a problem, kind of like people ain't, because society, like, views it, like, almost like as a bad thing, right?
To kill yourself?
No, to to talk if you need to talk to somebody, right? And you talked about this the other day when we were out having a couple drinks with some other people.
Yeah.
And I remembered that when you were talking about it, and it kind of, that's what made me think maybe we should talk about this. Because, it's a hard thing, and it's tough. Especially when it's somebody, you feel that you're really close to.
Yeah, that's the worst, man. I don't understand. I'm not afraid to say it. I've thought about killing myself before. 100%. I've thought about ending Jackson's life. And I thought at the time it was going to be the best thing. And there's nowhere in the scenario. First of all, the thought for me came out of, like, it was a moment, something happened, and then I immediately thought about something depressing happened to me. Well, screw it. I'll just tell you, like, it was the first girlfriend that I ever had. She, like, broke up with me. That was the moment. It was the first girl that I ever thought, oh, I love this girl, right? I thought I was in love, right? And she left, and I got hammered, and I thought about killing myself. And if it was like in the moment kind of a thing. But some of the people that kill themselves, you find out later on, some of those people do leave, like, documented accounts of how they're feeling before they kill themselves. Like, your friend did not do that.
But what stops them from, like, say, because you had a friend also, right? And
yes.
What stops them from calling you up? That's what I want to know. Like, calling you up, hey, man, like, we're friends. I need your help,
bro.
That's what bothers me. And, like, and sorry, I'm gonna dedicate this is to my friend James Dodd. That's why I'm talking about it. I want to say his name. Drinks for you. Mm-hmm. You're thinking about you tonight, man. And that's what it is. And, like, I'll never forget him, man. I've been thinking about it all week.
Right.
I mean, it's been rough. I was really good friends with him, and I know him for a long time. So,
yeah, dude. I don't know. I don't know what actually takes a person to the point where they do it. I understand the thought. Like I said, I've had the thought, but I don't understand actually following through with it. I don't think I'd have ever been able to follow through with it. Your life's got to be, like, that's the end of the road. That's as bad as it gets. Like, can you imagine?
You're a rock in a hard place.
Yeah,
man,
but
and you don't know where to go. But
we both knew the guy. You knew him way, way better than me.
I just feel like I was good enough friends with him that I would, like I feel like he could call me and, like, I could talk to him. That's what bothers me, that he didn't.
Yeah.
It makes me almost angry and mad about it.
I'm trying to think. If ever I was going to commit suicide, would I call you? You're one of my best friends right now. Would I call you and tell you I was going to do it?
Or just to talk to somebody to convince yourself not to do it, maybe.
Could you turn that light off, Dave? That big one, yeah. Thank you, sir. It's not, yeah.
But anyways, that's what I'm saying. Like, not necessarily to say that, but maybe to talk to somebody about whatever you're thinking to help talk you down from what you're doing, Like, I feel like you should, like I said, like, the way I feel in my head is like, I like I said, I met the guy. We moved in together the first time together. He lived with me here. like, I can remember all these things we did together. I feel like we were really good friends. So I feel like you could, like, say something.
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying you're going to kill yourself, but like, hey, I need to talk to somebody. Like, I need to bring myself down from this place. Where am I going, you know?
Did you guys talk much before this happened?
Yeah, I just talked to him like last week.
Jesus.
So, yeah. So, like.
And nothing.
No. And he talks, I mean, there's other people he still hung out with. I mean, I talk to him less now because I live here and he lives somewhere else, right? So, like, you tend to talk to them a little less.
His wife didn't have any insight into why he might have done this. Did you get to talk to, because he was a married guy. He had no kids.
I didn't really try to, like, talk to her about it, you know. I feel like that's not the time, you know, to, like, be bringing it up. Like I said, she walked up to me and she said my name. She hugged me for like 5 minutes and didn't let go. And I just didn't say anything because you don't know what to say. I don't feel like there's anything right that I can say that's going to make her feel better.
I hate to bring this up. I truly do. If that woman is watching this, I apologize. I mentioned this to you earlier. Is there any way that this guy was murdered?
I don't know.
And how?
I doubt it.
So they found him. Can you tell them where they found him and how they found him? Is that something you can say?
I don't know. I really don't want to, I guess.
Okay,
just, so, you know.
He shot himself. You're willing to say that?
Yeah.
Is there any investigation done? Like he lived, you know, in that town next to us. I don't feel like that town is very in depth with their, I don't know, homicide division or whatever you want to call it. Like,
I guess I don't know, man.
How much research do you think they would have done it? Like, would they have lifted fingerprints and looked at like blood spatter and all this stuff?
Man.
Is it possible he was murdered?
I doubt it.
You said he was fine when you talked to him.
Well, yeah, but people usually don't show you how they're actually feeling.
I know.
They don't. Usually the most depressed people are not, like, usually the ones that look the happiest.
My buddy, my best friend, who blew
Not
his
always,
brains, my best friend blew his head off with a shotgun. I think it was a shotgun. I don't remember, but it was a gun. It was a big gun, and he killed himself with it. Previous or prior to him killing himself, he was heavily drinking. And he would always send me Snapchats of him drinking and driving. Like, he was driving, cracking beers, like chugging them, like singing to crazy like music and all this stuff. Like, looking back on it, for sure, he was giving me a lot of warning signs, you know?
Yeah.
And I wasn't paying attention to him. And one of my biggest regrets in life is he even called me right before he killed himself. He's like, hey, man, I need like a job for a few weeks. Is there anything you got going? There's a very long story that I could tell about me and him that I won't get into right now. But long story short, he was like he was better than me as a man. Like, he was a better, because he and I used to do mixed martial arts together all the time. And he would always beat me. And he had knocked me out before. Like, he was a good fighter, you know? He and I, when we would fight, he would always get the best of me, right? So long story short, I thought, well, if I tell him we got a job opening, he's going to come here and he's going to be like he's going to make me look bad in front of all my friends, because he was also loud and he would do whatever he wanted whenever he wanted. Like, you couldn't control this guy. He was in the he was an Army Ranger. Like, he had gone to the military. He was like a tough dude. He was everything better than me, right? And when he called me and he's like, hey, man, I need a job for a couple of weeks. Can you help me out? And he was going through all this stuff at that time that I wasn't necessarily aware of. I knew he was drinking a lot, but I was like, I didn't even ask if we were hiring at the time. It was when I was working with you. I just told him, no, man, we're not hiring, because I thought he was going to make me look bad if he worked with me, you know? I thought he was going to embarrass me, you know? And I didn't want to be embarrassed anymore, because he would, like, Doug would always, like, you know, yeah, I was definitely the lesser man when I was around Doug, because he was for sure, like, he had it, you know? But, so I told him right away, I was like, we're not hiring right now. I'm sorry. Like, I can't help you. But I didn't know he was going through the stuff he was going through. And it's possible that I could have, like, helped him if I'd have told him he could come work with us and he would come get a job and he was going to live with me for a couple of months and everything, like all that we were talking about. But I just told him, no, we're not hiring. I'm sorry. But I didn't even ask, you know? And then like a month after that or so, he killed himself. So it was like he gave me warning signs and I just wasn't paying attention to him. You're saying James gave nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed like a happy dude.
Which is weird. That's the only reason I asked the question.
That
like,
happens to a lot of people.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, look at like even famous people like Robin Williams, right? He's a comedian. He made people laugh. He always seemed happy.
Yeah.
And he killed himself, right?
Right.
So you don't know, like, and it sucks if they do give you warning signs and you don't see them. I'm sure you, like, even at that time after it happened, you're probably like in a hard place after that.
Yeah.
Because you definitely start thinking a lot about stuff, man. It's crazy. It's tough.
It sucks, man. I'm sorry for your loss.
And for me, it's different too, probably because for me, it's like, honestly, for me in my life, it was the closest person in my life, like, that I lost. So it's the first time I had to experience this.
Yeah, go to your friend's funeral.
It was like, I mean, I've even had family, but they were older. I wasn't real, like, connected with them. Like, I feel like I knew this person way more than I ever knew them. Like, you know, like stuff, like I've had older people in my family die and I don't remember like a whole lot of doing anything with them.
Yeah.
And like my best friend, you know, like I remember everything now. Things I would never think about before, like on a daily basis, you know, like you're just like, whatever. And now it's like bringing up things you used to do all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I even drove by, like when I was leaving, and this is the craziest part. I was driving with the girlfriend, and we just drove afterwards and left, and I was driving down the roads trying to go somewhere, and this is no joke, I happened to turn on the street, and I was like, oh, yeah. And then I was like, and I showed her, I was like, this is the apartment building me and James first moved into after high school. I happened to be like right on the street. Well, my bad.
I'll bleep it.
But anyways, I was right there and I was like, no way. How did when I first got there, I was like, how did I end up here?
Yeah.
It was so weird. And I honestly did not purposely drive there. I was just driving we were going to go get something to eat. I was like, well, let's go get something to eat. She was hungry. I happened to be driving down the road and I was like, oh yeah, it's right here. I was like, this is the first place we live. Like right after high school, we like moved in together. I was like, no way.
Everything's connected, man.
Yeah, and then I showed her. I was like, by the way, I was like, I didn't purposely drive you here, and I'm not lying.
Right.
It just happened. It is weird.
Is that not weird?
It is to me, because I mean, I think it's a big enough town not to just happen to go by the street.
No.
And I honestly was not thinking about it at all.
Maybe your brain, maybe your subconscious.
Maybe.
All that
I don't know,
stuff.
but you got to remember the good times, right?
Yeah.
Not the bad stuff, so.
If I ever kill myself, please remember the good times because
man, we got video these days.
I won't do it. Yeah,
like all there, they had pictures, you know, and you see all these pictures, and holy crap, man.
Yeah,
they had pictures galore, and now you got video, man. They can remember, they can hear your voice, everything.
Did you speak at his thing when
they never even asked for people. He's got enough family that, like I said, his dad is a reverend, and he did the props to his dad for doing that. I don't know how he even did that. Yeah,
without.
I didn't know his dad was even a reverend, and like to come. I mean, there's times like he had to like step back, but his brother came up and said a bunch of stuff. Yeah, man. I mean, he's the best man at my wedding. It hit hard at first for sure.
That was my biggest regret, was not saying anything at his funeral, my buddy, because I knew I wasn't going to get any words out. I was on the verge of freaking crying the whole time. So I was like, I can't go up there, you know. I'm not even going to be able to say anything. But I still regret not going up and talking.
Man, I won't deny it, man. I had tears flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't, you couldn't stop them.
It sucks. Yeah, it's unfortunate that some people go through stuff like that and they end up freaking just ending it. And it sucks that they don't leave nothing, you know? You don't get any explanation.
Like I said, the worst is like not being able to do something about it, yeah.
Right. If your friends, the one lesson I've learned from all of it, if your friends ask you.
Or if they call you up out of the blue,
Yeah.
man, it's probably a sign if you haven't talked to them in a while.
Right.
So,
Or you see them drinking very heavily out of nowhere. Like, there are signs. Sometimes we just don't see them. So if your friends are calling you up, and you'll know the friends that are like losers and just always ask you for things, like freeloaders, and you'll know.
I've learned that he definitely wasn't one of those guys.
Right.
Sure.
Like, it would be like if I was to call you up tonight and be like, hey, man, can I just stay on your couch tonight? Like, I'm going through some stuff. And you'd be like, nah, man. Like,
No.
don't come over. Like, I'll be like, well, he blew his brains out the next morning. You know?
I wouldn't be.
That's not funny, but I'm just saying, like, you'll know, like, whether or not we choose to admit that we know someone's really going through something and we just don't want to help them, like, you'll know. If you sit there and think about it, you'll know if one of your friends is really going through something or not. So if they choose to, like, let you in on little hints here and there. Some people, like your friend, didn't do that. But
well, I get that. Not telling people, too, like, for sure. Who hasn't thought stuff, and, like, you're definitely not telling anybody, right?
Yeah, for sure.
About a million different things. It doesn't matter that or something else. So
yeah, man. But anyway, that's what you've been going through for the past week or two or whatever, and it sucks. Hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah, just saying, like, the reason I want to make the video is, like, if you got friends or you're a friend of somebody, like, say something, man. Like, don't be afraid to say something.
Don't kill yourself, Dave.
Nah, man.
All right. He said, nah, man. I'm not going to kill myself. I've thought from time to time, like, killing would be easier, but I don't think I'd ever do it, you know? And I was just extremely sad at that moment. I didn't want to be sad anymore.
I feel like some people, though, that thought probably they never would have done it.
Probably, yeah. And it might have been an accident, too. Like, I think my buddy Doug, I think he did it on accident because he was drinking so much. I think maybe he was just playing around at the time, and he was, like, playing with the idea, maybe. I don't know, because he didn't leave notes or anything either, as far as I know. But life is short enough already. Don't freaking
it's a sad
end
and
it.
depressing story, but
Now you heard it, you know. We're here to help you.
Yeah.
Just calm down. Like, take a few days to think about it. If you're going to do something stupid, literally put the booze down, take a few days, and, like, seriously think about it.
you got to remember the other people you're affecting in that situation is the problem.
Yeah. And if for some reason you find yourself in the situation where you say, listen, there's no way in hell I'm ever going to just get past this. I do want to do this. I'm going to end it. There's nothing anybody can say. I've talked to people. I've told them. Then at the very least, and this might sound cold in some respects, but at the very least, leave some kind of note explaining everything, like, in depth. Tell us why the hell, you know, because it could be a lesson to the next individual who's going to do the same thing, where people can say, well, listen, this last person left a note explaining everything they were going through in depth. We're dealing with the same situation with a new individual, and now we all know how to help him, you know? It's unfortunate that you'd have to go through that, but if you're going to be that kind of individual that takes themselves out regardless of any advice from anyone else, like, do us all the favor of giving us some kind of insight into why this is and maybe how other people can be helped from it, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, let's not make it too lengthy, I suppose. But like I said, yep. Cue the music.
The music has been cued. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing more I can do. The skis have spoken. We're getting out of here. I'm going to catch you guys
Peace.
in the next video.
Rest in peace, man.
Peace.
Take it
R.I.P. James.
Where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us. I don't know.